Okay, picture your perfect cruise day. Soft sandy beaches, crystal clear blue waters, a drink in your hand, and a luxurious private island. But beneath this postcard fantasy is the actual reality that currently there is a battle raging for your dollars with you trapped in the middle. I'm Steve from Amy's Turnkey Travel, and in today's video, we're going to be covering exactly what's going on in the Bahamas and how it's going to be impacting you moving forward. So let's start off with the Bahamian government. The Bahamian government says that they welcomed 20% more passengers in 2024, totaling 9.4 million cruisers, which is over 80% of the total tourism to the Bahamas. Now, you would think with such a drastic increase that they would also see a drastic increase in income, but Prime Minister Davis from the Bahamas points out that that actually didn't happen. According to Prime Minister Philip Davis, the reason that the government isn't seeing any of this increase in their tax revenue is because of private islands. Basically, every single cruise line operates a private island in the Bahamas. He points out that some of these private islands have cabanas that can go for as much as $4,000 a day, and yet none of that money makes it back to the Bahamas. It just sails overseas back to that company's pockets. Last year, the Bahamian government tried to combat this by raising their tourism tax from $18 to $32 per passengers. On top of that, they then added a 10% value-added tax or VAT tax on everything going on inside these private islands. We're talking everything from drinks to souvenirs, tickets, and even rentals like jet skis and other water sports. But now in 2025, they've also tightened down the customs, added taxes to every single thing imported to these private islands, as well as mandated that Bahamians are hired and only ones allowed to rent out jet skis and other lucrative watercraft at these private islands. And at first, it may seem like these cruise lines are being targeted and they're the victims of the story here, but let's dig a little deeper. For years, the cruise lines have enjoyed their leases and their private islands, avoiding tons of taxation and generating billions and billions of dollars in revenue. However, this actually provided limited economic benefit to the Bahamas, and that's why cruise industry leaders are actually saying they're expecting even more fines and taxes to be added to what's already there in the Bahamas. And while we have seen threats of them changing itineraries to avoid some of the Bahamian ports, it's unlikely that this is going to have a major impact because cruise lines continue to double down on private islands near the Bahamas. Carnival has pumped a ton of money into Celebration Key, bringing it up to speed to compete with CocoCay. On top of Royal Caribbean's CocoCay, they're now opening the Royal Beach Club Nassau right there in Nassau. Norwegian Cruise Lines, MSC, Carnival, and Holland America have all put a ton of money and are continuing to upgrade their private islands in the Bahamas for a race to the top. And not to be outdone, Disney also has 2 private islands in the Bahamas, CocoCay and Castaway Cay. Clearly, these cruise line companies are committed to the Bahamas. There's just too much money and too many islands invested in this project for them all to pull out suddenly. The problem is the real victim here is not the Bahamian government or the cruise lines. The real victim is you. You are going to continue to be hit with more taxes, more fines, more fees. You could also be seeing last minute itinerary changes like them avoiding maybe Freeport, Bahamas because they want to go somewhere else where there's less taxes and they can keep more of your money, or potentially just going to one of their private islands where they could pump you for more money. You could also experience higher onboard prices or higher prices at their private islands just to compensate for the fees and taxes that the cruise line is being hit with. Essentially, quiet hidden fees are going to start racking up, increasing the cost of one of the cheapest vacations in the Caribbean, which is a Caribbean cruise. Sadly, the battle in the Bahamas is not an isolated event. It's actually just another brick in the wall of destinations squeezing cruisers for their tax dollars. This is a trend we've seen and even talked about here on this channel, especially in the Caribbean, with places like Mexico, Jamaica, Belize, and Honduras also squeezing cruisers for more tax dollars. In the United States, Alaska has actually added taxes and fees at certain destinations as well. And Europe isn't immune to this either, with places like Barcelona and Venice also jumping in on this trend. And with all these complexities and increased taxes, you need to be more vigilant and more informed now than ever. And that's why we're here to help you out at Amy's Turnkey Travel. You can always scan the QR code here, use the link down and below to have Amy book the perfect cruise on the perfect itinerary for you, and she'll explain everything you need to know and make sure you have the best cruise vacation ever. Guys, we really hope this video was helpful. Hopefully you understand the impact of what's going on in the Bahamas. If it was helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. We greatly appreciate you guys. Thanks for checking out the channel. We will see you guys on the next one.